Vincenzo'S Gold Crypto Investing, and we're on the move once again. Literally and figuratively, the price is on the move. I'm on the move, and you can see we're on the move all over the place in the late, very late time in the greater Bloomington metropolitan area in central Illinois. This is Vincenzo'S Gold Crypto Investing, where you like, subscribe, and share for a one-of-a-kind, company-made computer software crash in Bitcoin, trading alert, technical analysis, and company philosophy, right? And you can see now you're coming to what we were talking about earlier this morning in that first update. And we're going to give you a quick update here before I really got to get into my work. I got to do some work orders. You can see we're coming back what we talked about this morning. We're in this constricting space. And this is the little volume indicator range that I put in for you from this point on, right? Right about here on all the volume in this from the consolidation to the flush, right? And you can see when you isolate in all that's right, old Vincenzo said isolate in closer, right? You can see here your major volume indicator, and you can see here's how this works. The green and the blue are buys, and then the off color orange and yellowish orange are sells, right? And you can see this is your major supply zone with your biggest volume, these two candlesticks, right? And if you went out like this, and this is a quick TA, I got to get my classes up. I really got to get going on this. I'm just extremely busy at work, but this is simple TA that you guys can use. This is your local supply zone where all the buyers and sellers are. This is your major volume indicated area. And here's how you read this. If you're coming in from the up top, like on the initial crash, you crash down, right? You got bought back up. Then as you fought through it, when you're trying to come through it, you get rejected initially, right? And then you got to build up space. But this is your supply zone where it's buyers and sellers. So from now on, when you get north of this, when you come down, it's going to try to act as support. When you come from underneath it, it's going to try to act as resistance. The same thing if you're within it. You get to the bottom of this and the buyers come in. You notice that? This is where the last line of buyers are. If you slip this down here on this blue line, this blue support zone, the next zone where buyers could be are all the way down here in Bitcoin at about 28.3, but not really till you get all the way down into this area. The next supply zone at 27,600-ish range, right down there. And then you can see if you slip that local wick bottom, then you're coming all the way down to 20,900. But that's how you can play the supply zone. That's why this is very important where you're at now. You can see you've slipped underneath and you're actually getting down into the middle part of this where the sellers start to come in, right? And if you get too much lower to the bottom part of this, the sellers are going to take over and it'll drive the price down from where you're at now, right down to where maybe some buyers can be down here, but there really aren't that many buyers. There's more sellers, a little bit of buyers down in here, right? That's why there's a little buyer supply zone down there. But these start to get deeper and deeper into the sell zone, and you can see the sellers start to take over as you get farther and farther away from this biggest volume candle where the most amount of buyers are, and you're below that now, so you're bearish, right? And if you slip too much more below this where you're at now, that's why we're making this video, to keep you out ahead of this competition when the market's moving. You can see you're trying to bounce on that major buyer area, but if you slip this, just to let you know, to be forewarned, you're going to have a quick drop down to the next area where the buyers are at in the supply zone, the regional supply zone. But from this support down is another $3.5 or $1,000 down, and that'll bring you a quick and swift drop. Anyone that's playing leverage play on the call side, you're going to get wiped out. or if you were buying in this area, this blue consolidation, thinking that was the bottom, that's not the bottom. If you're trying to find a local quarter bottom, that 24,000 is where there could be a nice bounce at, right after you consolidate and slip back down. If you can hold that, then you can make a legit run back up into this kind of area for a nice run, right? But right now, that's how you're playing this local volume indicator in there, and we're looking bearish right now, right? XRP is the same thing, right? You can see it's essentially an identical pattern as Bitcoin, right? In the consolidation, if you did the same volume indicator up there. And as you know, our technical target out of this big symmetrical triangle that Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing called, everybody back here, I just can't emphasize this enough. Back here on this hype train, only Vincenzo was out ahead of that and at the top of the pump on its way up before it hit its first upper resistance, and told you were at this point, quote, if you went and found the videos from back here, you're about to enter into a multi-year bear market. And then when we got into here, there was a head and shoulders topping reversal pattern. And then I showed you how, or the head and shoulders, yeah, it was up there, that from here on, I laid out a track what this pattern was going to do the next 18 months. I'll bring it back on here, that I had on there for many months last year. It's still on there. I just have it blacked out. We'll bring it on in future videos. And it laid out what was going to go on the next 12 to 24 months. And now we're 13 months into this, and you can see we're very suppressed in the price. And the next 12 months, with some big up and downs, I expect the price in 12 months from now, unless the Fed does something crazy, to be way down there, right? Unless the Fed calls off the dogs and goes on a massive money printing, right? But they're not doing that right now, and we'll keep you up to date if they do that. But you can see XRP is suppressed, and what you need to watch out for in a local time frame is you need to watch out. It's the same thing as Bitcoin. You're slipping, and I think your next major move in XRP is down here to 36 cents, and that would be your major bounce area if you're going to bounce, or you're going to flush down to the top part of the shithouse and right at 28 cents. So regionally, you need to hold this current 38, 37 and a half level. If you break that, you're coming right down to that 33 and a half cents, right? So that's what's going on there. And the rest of the market's not doing too well either. It's been kind of a brutal day for crypto this morning. You can see Dogecoin's down 6%. You can see, just like we were talking about over the weekend, it got rejected by the 200 day in the top part of the orange support zone, which is the last line of defense, aka get my shit together zone, to the shit house, which is way down there. But what looks to me like what's going on, like we were talking about all in here, is you're going to have to at least come down for that double bottom right there, right? You're going to trade your way down. And when they step down like this, usually you can get a nice bounce off of there, and that's where you could bounce up into here. So if you're trying to swing trade it, this level down here in Dogecoin could be your level to watch out for a quick swing trade from a dump to a quick pump until we continue in the bear market down there. That might be a nice area to put a quick swing trade on with buys, right? So that's what's looking like there. And then XLM's the same thing. We've been way out ahead of this in XLM, calling this from the top. People got fleece heisted and shisted to an extreme degree by watching the Moon Boys way up here. I told everybody up here that anybody that was buying this, anybody that bought up here were jabronis, right? And Vincenzo was coming out like gangbusters back in here. Vincenzo was coming out in gangbusters all through that, giving dire warnings on where this price was going to go, the same as XRP and Doge and the rest of it, because we were telling you this had a long way down, and it's 83.95% down, and it's still very expensive because this price could come all the way back down to essentially when the coin came out. And the coin came out, and it came out at the end of the last bull run, and then flushed, right? It came out at a bad time, and but these could come all the way back down here as your technical target is actually almost being met now because we were in this rising channel. You can see how we still have the colors on here. See that? We'll make these a much darker color now to bring this in. You can see we were in this rising channel. See that? And the technical target out of a rising channel, you could actually draw this. Yeah, up there. The technical target is the bottom of the channel, and that's why we have this down here. And it, conveniently enough, it comes down to the 2.618 Fibonacci, and you can see, or 3.618, because it took longer to get here. But you can see now we're almost down to the technical target, and that could be a phenomenal area on XLM actually for a nice buy. Once we touch down in this area, it's a technical move, it's a technical target. that could be a nice area where you buy it, and then you can run back up into the supply zone where all the sellers are, and that could be a nice 1.5 bagger, right? So I'm going to keep an eye out on that for you as the next few weeks to a month or two goes by, as I may start stacking up at 0.069 cents to buy that nice move up back to 19 cents, right? 6 cents to 19 cents. Like, subscribe, and share. Peace and love to my beautiful audience.